Welcome back, everybody, to the North American Strikers League. We're switching out casters once again. My name is Gordo. I am joined by Daftgrass here from Comeback Kings themselves. Daftgrass, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining me here. We got a couple of banger matchups coming up ahead.
Yes, we do. I already forgot the first one, but I'm pretty sure it's Goat versus J-Tangles.
You're completely right.
A little bit of short-term memory loss there, but overall I'm pretty excited to be here once again, in our third week of streamed games.
Yeah, definitely going to be a fun one here today. So yeah, we got Goats taking on J-Tangles with a shotgun. Goats sitting tied for 5th place in the division at 1-1-2. It's 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 win, 1 tie, and 2 losses. J-Tangles with a shotgun, they're bringing up the rear at 0-0-4. Have yet to be able to take a game for themselves. And on week 3 here, Daftgrass, it's really got to be put up or shut up time. If they want to try to avoid relegation, they're going to have to start winning some games right now.
Yeah, and you know what? If you look at the West League standings, there is a world where they could make playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
if we're being real here, if they win their next, 2 games, 2-0, 2-0, there's a very real chance, because you look at the West League standings, and you have 3 teams tied for 2nd and 3 teams tied for 5th. So, hey, you know what? Maybe there's a world.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. I mean, these comebacks, absolutely on the table, or at the very least, right? It's not like you automatically drop out of the league. There is still going to be that relegation tournament. You're going to play against teams that come up from the qualifiers. So, and again, not to write off the potential of a comeback here. J-Tangles could still make a run up the league, but even if they can't make that climb back up, you want to start getting some wins. You want to start building up some momentum and some confidence for yourself coming into what could be some real tight, real competitive relegation matches. So, up against Goats Esports, this is a winnable match for them. Goats have dropped 5 games, if I'm doing my math right, over the course of the split already. They've only taken 1 series 2-0. There's definitely some room here for J-Tangles to play with to try to get themselves some of those dubs.
Yeah, when we talk J-Tangles, they have Storm, J-Tang himself, and Ziyoshi. And Ziyoshi, one of the players to watch here, as we do actually get into this on Amy's app. But it does look like Ziyoshi, the person I was going to mention to watch, isn't playing. We got Snowball instead.
Interesting. So yeah, they have not played without Yoshi very much at all. So far, when they've been on Imy's app, at least for J-Tangles, they've been playing the Imy. They've been playing the Zentaro as well, but that's just because, that's Yoshi's main character. He's almost always on that Zentaro when he gets the opportunity. So really curious to see what they're going to end up going for here with him out of the roster.
Yeah, and obviously Amy's app, now that we're looking at the draft here, we got Double Rasmus. Hey, it's the funny map. It's the map that pull people into the hole. Who would have guessed, right? But actually, we see J-Tang on his signature Juno pick, which I believe has been banned from him every single game so far in this league. So, first game, it might actually be what they need to kind of turn the tides in their favor, as him on his signature pick, something he's super comfortable with, taking that eject button with that missile propulsion from that starting draft, gonna be hopefully good for them.
Yeah, really interesting to see how it's going to end up going, because, yeah, as you said, not a lot of Juno getting through here for J-Tang in this league. I think in the match history they've gotten it once or twice, but it hasn't been enough to take over the victory. Let's see if that's going to be different this time around. Storm going to be on this Drakkar, looking to step forward, getting knocked around by Fudgy Waffles a little bit, though. Let's see how these Rasmi are going to be able to play around this pit in the center, if they're going to be able to get some of those big hook plays that Reddit just loves to be memeing about.
Yeah, and something important to note, in the starting draft, as Snowball does get that first barrier down for this game, extra special was brought out. So definitely going to be something of note, as we do have the 2 Rasmuses in the game taking that extra special.
Yeah, and one of them already found their angle there, taking the Asher off the map here. And all right, gonna be another one coming on through. So now numbers advantage over to J-Tangles, and Snowball gonna be forced to go elusive as he's staggered here. Apalm and Fudgy Waffles passing back and forth. They want to open up the goal, but J-Tang has been playing it pretty tight so far, does end up letting it through. That's not going to be the end of it yet by any means. Fudgy Waffles goes up, goes for the flip, and just knocks it straight in. Catches J7NG sleeping a little bit.
Yeah, J7NG not really in a great position to save that. I mean, you know, when you're playing this Juno, you don't necessarily have, like, a cooldown that you can kind of throw as the core is coming to you. Obviously, you have your friend fling, but that's more of kind of a predictive thing, as once again, the Rasmus is showing that extra special. Oh my god, as I say it, another one goes in the hole.
Back and forth, there's a reason it's a meme. You know, people make all the jokes for a reason. Apalm going to bite it there. The Rasmus going to take out Snowball. A little bit of Rasmus on Rasmus action there. And another attempt onto Apalm. This time going to have been far enough away to stay up, but he's going to get taken out by the pendulum swing right as I say that. A numbers advantage going over to the side of Goats. They are looking to get themselves back into this. The first goal did, of course, go over to J7NG. So going to look to even things up. That Death Touch going to land onto the core itself and just knock it right back away. That is one of the powers of Rasmus that you don't really get to utilize quite as much on Imy's app, as you're often going to get blocked by the very same centerpiece that's going to kill people. As goal opened up here for J7NG.
Yeah, and something important to note about the damage compositions here. J7NG definitely have a lot more output comparatively. On the other, oh my god, that one just went right through Blue Flu and a Palme. A bit unfortunate, but Snowball, great job there finding that angle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just getting it right through the uprights there. Apalm and Blue Flu, I think both might have thought that the other was going to be able to get to it, and nobody actually quite ends up getting there. Maybe they didn't even have the range to do so in the first place. And Apalm just getting bullied, but is going to find their slot to move forward and knock that Drakkar off of the map. Going to be a numbers advantage for J7NG as they're going to even that up. Snowball finds another pick, finds another Death Touch into the center. And now going to even things back up, and at least until Storm TFT can rejoin. Storm wants to knock this back over. Snowball hits it with the pendulum swing. That's another goal.
Yeah, so going back to this damage composition type, you know, talk, they have Drakkar Juno, which infinitely has more output than the Asher and the Kai here. Especially in this type of game, you're really only kill threat. Obviously, you saw Palm get one themselves, which I don't even know how that happened. But you really need Fudgy to be able to bring a lot of the power for you, because you're definitely very good at scoring. But killing, oh my god, never mind. I was wrong.
Yeah, it's just a huge play by the Asher there. Palme builds up the advantage, and that's going to be an easy knock-in for Fudgy Waffles. I mean, you just cannot defend 1 versus 3 like that for very long.
Yeah, I guess I need to stop talking about how they have no kill power, because all I'm seeing them do is kill people off this edge here.
Yeah, now a little bit of a caster curse coming through there, but huge breakthrough play by Palm here. And now going to be another one for Snowball. He's been so good at being able to take these picks off the center. And now moving up with Storm, going to look to open up the goal. Passes back and forth have been good so far, and Palm is just getting bullied here by the pendulum swings, whiplash, and one more lock and load. Gonna take him off the top side. And J7NG ready to step up. Fudgy Waffles, they hook each other, and the double KO comes through, 1 for each side. Storm and J7NG now need to pair up together and just do the best they can, and I think I've seen enough. This map is ridiculous.
Yeah, double Rasmus, oh my. Another one goes in the hole. As I was talking about the Rasmus, I mean, they are just sending them in the hole like a Palme is sending that one into the net and into the carousel. What a first round.
Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, yeah, the extra special, like you said, the cooldowns are a little too low. The Rasmus are a little too effective. Let's see how the Awakenings are going to change things up for round number 2.
Yeah, speaking of Awakening, specialized training. The Rasmus training, obviously, Blue Flu is going to pick it up because the enemy Rasmus will get to it before, you know, their Rasmus. So you don't want him having that specialized training. Unstoppable coming out from Asher. Actually an insane, massive value. It means Asher's no longer to die to those hooks. Stagger Swagger coming out from Fudgy Waffles. Great deny, especially since you really don't want to give that kind of Drakkar, Rasmus, that Stagger Swagger. And it's going to help him, especially against some of this damage that they're putting out in this game.
Yeah, so that one gets stolen away, as you said there, and want to pay close attention to the Stagger Swagger, like you said. Could potentially mean that some of these KOs aren't going to be landing on Erasmus the way that they once were. Fudgy Waffles playing up and aggressive here, going to open up the goal. Napalm looking to bully onto J7NG, abuse some of the squishiness that the Juno brings to the table. but is actually going to let that one right by. And now it's open goals for both sides. The Snowball finds themselves another pick. Stepping forward, Blue Flu does manage to clear it. Really well played there, and actually just taking a quick KO off the top side, but it's not enough. J7NG gets it off the Blabo.
Yeah, J7NG seeing using the full range of that missile propulsion that he did pick up in those starting awakenings, and also Blue Flu getting that kill due to that specialized training, allowing him to send him off completely off the map.
Specialized training, it's not just for Rasmus. It gets a little done there on the Kai as well. Now Palm looking to keep aggressive here. Fudgy Waffles looked for the goal there with the pendulum swing. It can get it off the core flip. That's a 3-assisted goal. 1-1 now in this set.
Yeah, and Fudgy using the full value of Stagger Sparker there, able to run up into the net, enemy's net, in fact, and steal their orb just to be able to heal back the full there, and then work with a Palmate to get that next goal.
Really nicely played. And now another KO off the bottom. Blue Flu finding these for free, and a Palmate just slams it in there. 1 versus 2. It forces it through with the barrier beam.
Yeah, rounds going by so fast. We don't even have time to do play-by-play. We're just seeing the puck go in the net over and over as Blue Flu picking up a kill that round. Actually really helped them win that off the start there. I mean, these specialized training Gigablasts are killing them.
Yeah, and even though the rounds are going so quickly, it's still been a close game. Fudgy Waffles gets another one knocked off the side and wants to bring their team up to 2-0. That would be match point. Blue Flu gonna let one through though, and that does open things up. Now clear from J7NG, knocks it back up, pass to himself, but is going to cost one more teammate's life, as they are now 3 versus 2 here in the favor of GOAT. And now a knock back up, another core flip. Snowball can't quite close it out. Now Snowball opens up their own goal a little bit there. I think it was actually Fudgy Waffles who knocked that one in. Snowball trying to play up and aggressive, but gets knocked away by that big shot there from Blue Flu. Now the clear comes through successfully once again. Goals both open. J7NG here just ready to receive. Death Touch comes out, doesn't quite land. Storm able to dodge away. Fudgy Waffles wants to pass it up. Apolme goes in for the goal, and again, it slips past J7NG on the top side.
Yeah, and that really shows, kind of the bad part about junior goalie. When you're sitting in your net, you have no cooldowns. You really have no way of reaching above because you're tiny. What you really need is that Fred and Fling, and you need it up as fast as possible. And I'm seeing all 3 orbs here on the board. So if I'm the Rasmus here, obviously you're gonna take Deadeye, but Twin Drive. Okay, I can understand the Twin Drive. He has a eject button. He wants to be able to maneuver around the map a little more. There's the dancer from Asher. That's going to help her kind of move around the field a little better. I would imagine someone would take Ponderer. Kai, just more cooldowns. Very good. Now, this is going to be interesting. This Drek with Cast to Last is going to have his ult up for a long time. And it's also going... Oh my god, actually, he didn't take extra special. I would have imagined he would have. I guess I didn't pay attention to that. But he won't have it up very often. But when he does, it will be long.
Yeah, I went for the extended range instead. Also pretty powerful on the Drakkar, but does mean, as you said, that extra special not going to be available, not going to have the extra damage. Maybe wishes he had. Now he finds what he's been able to pick up later on, but that's KOs for both sides. 2-on-2 on the court here. Fudgy Waffles wants to step forward and take this one up, but is going to get deflected away. Now it's J7NG actually playing up towards midfield, looking to keep the pressure on the Blue Flu, who's just still trying to defend this last barrier. That's a double KO given over to Fudgy as they keep the numbers advantage and are now going to knock it up. A nice shot by Apalme.
Yeah, nothing really J7NG can do there in that situation. It's a 50-50. Does he go up? Does he go down? He went down and Apalme went up.
Now Goats Esports well and truly in the lead. Could close it out on this set if they can find the right angle. Blue Flu doing a good job with the barrage to just keep this core cleared away. The Blabos now going for the shots, but Blue Flu going to once again be ready to knock it away. Another Death Touch KO from Snowball. Storm TFT spent so much of this match off of the blast zone that he's still down to only level 4, but can still be there, can still hit the core, and can still look for the goals. Snowball getting pushed away, gets Death Touched back in, but that puts him in perfect position for a pendulum swing and a goal.
Yeah, pendulum swing, killing Blue Flu in his own net. Actually really good, taking off whatever Orb Ponderer stacks he's built up so far. He's going to have to reset on them. But, you know, he's the goalie. He's going to get them no matter what, right? He gets free orbs every 2 seconds. But definitely huge when you're trying to mount this comeback.
Yeah, another big KO there, earned for the side of J7NG, and they're going to need to make more use of these numbers advantages when they get them if they want to be able to crawl this game back. Storm TFT going to open things up, but Apalme back on the map. Going to go in for that barrier beam to clear things back away. Fudgy Waffles still getting it knocked back into the death touch, and just going to be trying to clear as best as they can. That's another KO. This one going over to Goats. There's so many kills coming through this game. And Fudgy Waffles, while staggered, wants to play aggressive, wants to get the goal, but also has to be very careful that Storm doesn't end up taking him out of the map. That's a big core flip from J7NG, and scores it for a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and thinking about the difference between Extra Special and Missile Propulsion on the Drek here, I would have really liked to have seen that Extra Special come out, especially when you're playing into something like Rasmus Asher, which lacks the ability to kind of like kill you with stagger normally. Really all you got to do is just dodge the hook, but it doesn't look like they're doing that right now as Fudgy puts one in.
All right, this is match point now, 2-2 in the set, but if it's a set win for Goats, it's going to be a game win for Goats. They certainly would love to have already gone up 1-0 in the set if they can manage to do so. And so far, they've been the ones to win every single one. Going to move forward, Fudgy Waffles goes in for the core flip, gets it deflected away by Storm. Blue Flu doing their best, and still has been so protective of the goal barrier throughout this entire game. It's rarely even resulted in their goal being opened up. As I say that, though, the pressure is coming on up. Snowball trying to knock it in, but a nice core flip from Blue Flu will clear it back to the other side, knocking it down to Apalme. And so far, nobody's been able to actually get that goal opened up.
Yeah, and this win would mean so much for Goat Esports here, as they really need as many points as they can coming into this last stretch here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're looking to move up out of 5th place into the playoff picture, you need to take these really convincing wins over some of the lower tier teams. J7NG's sitting at the bottom of the leaderboards right now. Goats Esports have got to feel like this is easy pickings. This is their chance to move up in the standings, and they want to prove that here. Blue Flu now getting it knocked aside. Snowball gets a good pendulum swing onto nearly all 3 members. Storm TFT is there as well to try to knock it in. If they can reset things, try to get some momentum back in their favor, this game might not just be over yet. A nice block by Blue Flu to keep the game alive. There's the core flip, gets blocked away by Fudgy Waffles. Pass on down, but Storm TFT is ready to intercept it. Apalme clears it back to Blue Flu. Knocked over to J7NG, cleared across the entire map. Snowball wants to knock it in, passes it down to Storm, who is not ready to receive. Fudgy Waffles looking for the whiplash goal, can't get it. The Blobos are too omnipresent, and Fudgy Waffles wants to flip it in, but it gets cleared away by Snowball. Once again, this is an incredibly close back and forth, but nobody has been able to find themselves an angle into the goal. Nobody's even been able to find themselves a KO for the numbers advantage. Apalme with the barrier beam knocks it in fast. Snowball gets the KO, though. This is a numbers advantage for J7NG, and the best opportunity they've had to score in a while. Storm knocks it in with the lock and load, and the game goes on.
Yeah, for a bit of a Garfield, you had first moment there for our chat. Obviously, I know everyone loves some Garfield, but some pretty important trainings coming out here. You got Big Fish, you got the Stinger coming out. I would be curious as to whether or not someone would want the Stinger. Maybe there's your car if it falls to him. But it turns out Rasmus Fudgy Waffles gonna take that away. Rapid Fire coming out. Actually, J7NG has a really good build right now. He has Twin Drive, Missile Propulsion, now with the Rapid Fire. I mean, he's able to throw out so many slimes in so many different places. Also has the Timeless Creator too. So they're going to be lasting for 30 years out there on the field.
Long-lived Blobos to try to turn things back to the favor of J7NG's. Palmy gets a nice hit on the barrier there, but for TFT, going to be able to immune it, going to be able to step back away. Now chasing down on a Snowball is Fudgy Waffles, and there's the Giga Blast to take him off the bottom side. Palmy passed down to, wants to step up, and the numbers advantage lets them do so. Goats Esport, ooh, that's a missed ultimate for Palmy, but doesn't really matter. Doesn't look like it so far. It's another KO off the bottom. Fudgy passed to himself, and that's the goal for Fudgy.
Yeah, Fudgy doing a nice job throwing that death touch down there, able to pass it up to himself just to get a clear shot on the net. There is nothing stopping him from putting that one in.
Yeah, really nicely played there, and immediately another KO. Fudgy Waffles feeling himself here in this 4th set. Pass over to Blue Flu, and once again, with the numbers advantage, wants to be able to open up the goal. Palmy going to be ready, and Fudgy gets another one. What a pop-off by Fudgy for the last couple of moments, as they're going to look to score now, and they get it off the pendulum swing. Beautifully played.
Yeah, even if J7NG was able to hit that one, there was a Giga Blast coming in, and that thing is specialized training on it, like added to it. So you're really not stopping that one once it gets to that point.
Definitely not. Now, once again, down on the bottom side of the field, that's where Fudgy's been hanging out, and that's where Fudgy has been making these plays. Pass over from Blue Flu, cleared back over by Snowball, but a little bit of an opening here. J7NG does have the Blobo bounce, does manage to save it that time, but that was very close to being that big weakness of the Juno goalie that we've seen multiple times already in this game. Now Palmy going to barrier beam it back up on the top side, and they've got their setup. They've managed to sneak it past Storm. The barrier breaker comes through, and there it is. A goal for the side of, excuse me there, for the side of Goats, and they are going to be able to claim themselves game number 1.
Yeah, really, honestly, pretty well played. Honestly, that one set that they lost really could have gone either way, you know, at that point. But it just needed maybe one more training. Palme just kind of wanted to grab that big fish, I guess. Be a little bigger, as we do look at some of the stats here. And still, if you look at the damage output from the side of J7NG, it's higher than what you are getting from, you know, Fudgy Waffles of Palme. That forward duo doesn't really have kind of like super high stagger pressure outside of, you know, really just Blue Flu coming in, helping a little bit, and Fudgy Waffles getting those picks with that death touch. And Snowball as well, doing a great job, and from what I've seen in their first showing here in NASL, picking up 12 KOs on that Rasmus.
Yeah, I mean, it's 23 KOs between the Rasmuses, and yeah, I mean, that just tells you the whole story of the game right there. These guys constantly finding KOs onto each other, especially in the earlier rounds. Seemed like everybody started to get maybe a little bit more careful around the center pit after it had been a huge difference maker for quite a few of the back and forths. But yeah, I mean, just great performances, and Fudgy on the Rasmus especially really coming alive in the last couple of rounds and really showing why that pick is so valuable on this map.
Yeah, and Blue Flu too. If you look at his orb stats, he picked up 32, which, considering he had Ponderer, he was farming his cooldowns 24/7 there. And especially with the fact that he had specialized training too, and he's farming his Giga Blast, he's outputting so much damage for his team. And especially, as you saw in that game, he was able to get multiple kills off the side with the Giga Blast, whether it be from staggering them or just pushing them off the edge with knockback normally.
Yeah, you know, once you got that extra special given over to the Kai, it's super valuable for him. Not quite as valuable as it would have been on the Rasmus, but as you said, that deny was so important for them, and ended up getting a little bit of value on the Kai as well. So a little bit of a double dip there in what ended up being a super crucial awakening for that game.
Yeah, the specialized training really is, you know, kind of crazy. And also, from what I remember, Deadeye was picked up. I don't necessarily remember which Rasmus it went to, but
I think
Deadeye,
it was Fudgy, but I could be wrong.
I want to also say it was Fudgy, but Deadeye is one of the, you know, best in slot type trainings for Rasmus on the Amy's app, because you're able to pretty much almost always get that Deadeye proc, and 35% harder is a lot, especially, you know, when you consider it relates to knockback too.
Yeah, it definitely does, and it's you know, it'll drag you that extra distance, and distance is everything when we're talking about Death Touch. It'll get you from the edge all the way down into the center. If you're staggered, it'll get you from one side of the map to the other, and it will end up with you getting those extra KOs, getting those numbers advantages, and potentially being able to play more aggressively and end up scoring the goals at the end of the day. We are going to have another matchup between these two teams, J7NG and Goats, going to face off for the second time. We are looking to get into game here in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and something interesting about the Deadeye, when you throw that ultimate out there, how Deadeye works, right? It's 600 units. So from where you're standing, you throw out that ultimate and you send it out there. it'll save the position, the original position of where you threw it out. And as you walk around and maybe you have to wait a second, if somebody walks into that, it'll actually take whichever position is the longest between where you are when they get hit by it and where you are when you threw it out originally. It'll take whichever one is the longest distance. So you can throw it out there and, maybe you threw it at 400 range away. You can keep walking and it'll actually apply the 600 range, if you're past that when they do get hit by it.
I did not know that. That's actually a super big difference maker. So it favors you either way as far as the calculations go. Oh, definitely makes that awakening just a little bit more powerful on the pick.
Yeah, it's something that actually applies with Rune too. So if you ever wonder why people go, oh, Deadeye's good on Rune, it's because you can, place the pillars and then walk away and they'll get hit by that Deadeye. Or if you TP away, it'll take the position of where you are at the end and they'll get hit by that extra Deadeye damage.
Makes it even stronger on both picks. I see starting showing up on my screen, so hopefully we'll be loading up onto the game soon. And it looks like it is going to be Night Market as the map for this game number 2. Goats still taking on J7NG, and it is going to be, looks like it is going to be Goats on the left side, the blue side, whatever you want to call it, in this game number 2. See what they go for on Night Market. They played on this map a couple of times already, been generally going for the traditional era Kai Juliet setup here.
Yeah, so Night Market is kind of a weird map. As we see an Amy ban and a Zentaro ban come through. It's honestly one of the more Awakening dependent maps in the game. I would say compared to really some of the others, because there are some times where you can really play any type of comp on Night Market just because of what the starting Awakenings dictated. As we see, obviously, as you said, the Era Julie. I wonder, okay, so we get a Jakar on the other team instead of the Era. So I wonder if this Era had something, something nice to take in the starting Awakenings as we're loading into this game. I would love to see, to continue my little tangent here. Super Surge. Okay, so Super Surge or Ponder. The Super Surge is going to be pretty big on Apalme, able to get those kills from like halfway across the map. As you see, shoving right into Jang there.
Yeah, J7NG takes a huge amount, but is just going to get it smacked in right on him. I mean, Fudgy Waffles is there, ready to knock it in, and the two-man squad, Fudgy and Apalme, continue to get themselves some good goals.
Yeah, definitely helped by that Super Surge on that Era. With that Flutterfly, it sends them fast and far.
Yeah, definitely does the Flutterfly. Going to be one of the more powerful tools in Era's arsenal, and going to be using this Bewitching Beam to try to keep Snowball, especially, shrunk down, ineffective, not able to go for the KOs that you want on the Julie here. And going to be landing another one right there, passing it up to Apalme, using that Super Surge to knock the core deeper and deeper in and make sure that they can get the goal opened up, and that's another goal. Fudgy Waffles knocks it in with a Bewitching Beam.
Yeah, and so something nice about having this Flutterfly with the Super Surge, the bad part about playing Julie on this map is that you have to walk down into those bottom areas by the wall to kind of contest the core when it rolls through there. So being able to get that speed boost to help you kind of get through those areas with the core quickly is going to be so useful. And really the only counterpoint to that is just Jakar is just kind of a wall that you got to get past first.
And wow, the stagger coming through here. Storm and Snowball got so much damage off across onto Fudgy and onto Apalme there, but Apalme does not care. Apalme goes for the core flip, knocks it in across the map, and that's a 3-0 quick set going over to the Goats.
Yeah, Fudgy showing us the full range of why Era is just a good character. I mean, you roll the Super Surge, you give your Julie basically everything they want in the game, and we got some interesting trainings out here. Orb Replicator with an Orb Ponder start. I wonder what this Era is going to want to take. Stinger. Wouldn't have been what I would have guessed. I guess you might want to deny it from the Juno. There's a heavy impact coming out. Denying that from the Jakar. You don't want to give it to Jakar. He's going to have his primary up every 2 seconds. Surprised he took Chrono. I think maybe going for a prime time would have been a little smarter, but who knows, maybe he'll get some value out of that longer ultimate and the longer Xeno Cloak with that Super Surge, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Storm going to have it slip by him once again here. That's a big KO, though, earned for Snowball. They need a little bit of a break in this game, in this series. As they're stepping up, they do manage to knock down one of the Gale barriers. And now going to be Snowball trying to play up, but taking quite a bit of damage for it. Gotta watch out. Fudgy Waffles has all of that damage still and has a little bit more thanks to the Stinger that they picked up earlier on, and going to be hammering away onto both Storm and Snowball, who are going to be at risk of getting taken out by a Palmy or by one of those little magical Maelstroms off the side. But Snowball's the one who actually manages to pick up the KO. Now pushing forward, Storm goes invisible, pops back out, and is ready to retrieve the core. Going to be doing that a lot more often with the turbo that you suggested earlier on. Palmy back on the map and ready to take it back over onto the right side. Fudgy Waffles knocks it forward with a Bewitching Beam. That's going to be the last goal barrier open. Palmy looking to go for the goal, goes up aggressively, and it will slide in there. J7NG knocks it back up, knocks it away. Huge save by J7NG to keep it up.
Yeah, and those friend flanks doing an excellent job. You know, just keeping the core away, as J7NG almost lets that one in. Just uses a nice little core flip just to save it.
Oh, another KO for a Palmy, though, and now no goalie there to defend this. A Palmy gets another one.
Yeah, using the friend fling to kind of save his net, but unfortunately kind of jumped into the line of fire there and kind of got sent off the map, unfortunately.
Yep, just a little too aggressive, and always hard to tell where your limits are at when you're up against this Juliet, especially. Ooh, Magical Maelstrom actually doing quite a bit of work there for Fudgy Waffles as well. Going to net them the numbers advantage, and Fudgy and Palmy doing such a good job of passing it back and forth between them are going to be able to open up the goal. And can they get more? Yeah, they can. A Palmy with another goal.
Yeah, shoutouts to the new era Tornado angle change, because that secured that kill there. Old Tornado would have never.
A little bit of extra juice in the tank for the eras, as though she needed it, really, as she's been so good for a couple of patches. Did just get nerfed on the last one. And that's another KO earned for a Palmy on the bottom. Going to, again, be looking to close this out in a quick 3-0 fashion. I think it's already been longer than it was in the first set, but both of these coming through so quickly. Opened up goal once again. Can they close it out? This might be one of the faster games we've seen in the NASL on the current rate that they're going. A Palmy stepping up, can't quite get that Fire Fist onto it, and it actually slips by Blue Flu. He was going for the barrage and just didn't quite nag it.
From what I saw, he tried to evasive, thinking Snowball might have dash punched into him, but Snowball threw out the Fiery Fist, didn't hit anything, and Blue Flu just watches the core just slowly drifted by him there.
Ooh, Snowball finds two of them in a dark alley and nearly takes them both out. Does end up with just one at the end of the day, but great bit of damage coming through there on the Julie, and that's what you need to keep this game going. A knockback over from Storm is actually going to cost them one of their own while they're at it. Now J7NG ready on the defense. Passed down. Blue Flu taking a fair bit of abuse from Snowball. Has to watch out for his own stagger bar here, as he is now staggered. And Storm right on top of him along with Snowball. They are looking to find a place to take this Kai off the edge. A Palmy now stepping up on the top side, using the distraction that their goalie represents to try to get a numbers advantage on the other side. Clear back over from Fudgy, but Snowball finds it. Snowball gets the knockout. Snowball opens up the goal, doing everything here as J7NG steps up, passes it up to Storm. They just want to get themselves one more. They just want to tie things up, and it might just slip in there. Fudgy ready on the defense, but not quite enough. Blue Flu respawns a second too late.
Yeah, so many KOs have happened off the side on this map. You'd think that, you know, night market, side streets, maybe there's something going on there. Maybe we're playing on the new reincarnation of side streets.
Perhaps. I mean, it would explain something here, because there's been a lot of chaos. Snowball with the double gate open there. Great angle found by the Juliet on that rush. Does manage to pick it up. The Phoenix Fire? Phoenix something? It's Fudgy and a Palmy. Still, though, on the front foot, looking to close out set number 2. The Palmy slowed down by that shot from Drakkar and gonna get taken off by one more. There's nobody here to keep pushing forward, so J7NG will be able to successfully clear it. And now Fudgy Back and forth with Storm. They want to sneak it past each other, trying to get it over to Snowball. Snowball takes a little bit of a Giga Blast there from Blue Flu. Finally, will get taken out by Apalmi, and now again, Apalmi and Fudgy Waffles on offense, ready to try to score. Passes back and forth. They're going to play this nice and slow while they've got the numbers advantage. Want to score before Juliet can respawn. Not able to do that, but there's going to be the flip, and there's going to be the goal from Apalmi to close out set number 2.
Yeah, and J7NG with the shotgun, able to really kind of pull through a lot more on that. Obviously, unfortunately, in the end, they didn't make it through. But I definitely think that they had the better draft in that second carousel. As we go into this third one, surprised that Julie's hovering unstoppable here when... all right, you know what? I see it. It makes sense. You don't want to be able to lose your ability to dash punch people off the edge. And Adrenaline Rush definitely going to be picked up here by Apalmi, as you can see. By Snowball. I really would imagine that this is kind of Snowball's chance to be able to come back, win this game. You have the Ponder, you have Pummelers, you have Adrenaline Rush. You just need to find some of these kills off the edge.
Yeah, I've had some moments of greatness there. There's another one of them going to proc the Adrenaline Rush. I mean, at the rate things have been going, they're going to be keeping that one procced readily and often. As Snowball is looking for another one here, nearly takes Apalmi off the top. It's just Storm here playing in midfield, making sure that that core never becomes J7NG's problem, at least until it has to. And when it does, going to be saved in time. Magical Maelstrom fired a little bit early there. Does get Snowball into the stagger, who's going forward with the Flying Phoenix, trying to knock somebody off, trying to get that proc of Adrenaline Rush once again. Now going to not be able to do it, going to get taken down by Apalmi. Now looking to score is Storm, but Apalmi taking it back over to their side. Now Apalmi ready to knock aside J7NG, opening up the goal. Fudgy Waffles passes it down. Storm TFT just can't seem to get his hands on it, is nearly going to end up giving up a second barrier.
But Storm TFT gotta shove that one right through. And as you can see, here's the damage difference from something like Drakkar and Juno. They're able to pump out so much more than this Kai and the Arrow are. But on the other end of the spectrum, Apalmi able to sit and get a lot more of these dash punch kills and able to have a lot more movement around the map, as you can see, taking both barriers right then and there.
Ooh, opening up super quickly here for the side of the Goats. They are looking to get in here. They're going to be Storm still playing on the top side. Snowball staggered, but not out. Now plenty out as Apalmi finishes the job, and it's just stuck in the center, bouncing back and forth. They will finally be able to get it out of there. And J7NG clears it to the bottom side, but it just comes right back up and scores.
Yeah, oh my god, I can't even speak. That Magical Maelstrom sitting on that bottom side. I'm not sure if J7NG just didn't see it. I know I have issues sometimes seeing the Air Tornado. I've asked for it to be, a little bit more visually friendly. But, man, what a great tornado coming out from Fudgy to able to shove that one into that net.
Yeah, this still finds itself on an upwardly path, and J7NG can't get quite down to block it again. And now the goal already going to be open 20 seconds in to this next round. Apalmi boosted up, looking to push it forward. It will get cleared back out by Storm. Blue is ready to respond, though, and Apalmi, looking for the goal, does knock into two of them, but doesn't quite get the gore. The core flip from J7NG will clear it back out. And now Blue Flu going to have the pressure on top of him. Snowball going to knock it back and forth, has got that Adrenaline Rush, will get knocked aside by Apalmi. Here comes the score attempt from J7NG with the Blabo, will get cleared back over to him, but he keeps it onto his teammates' pockets. Apalmi moving up with Fudgy, wanting to take this 2v1 up against J7NG. That's the Flying Phoenix again from Apalmi, not quite enough to close it out. Now going to be cleared back and forth. Fudgy Waffles stepping down towards the bottom, passes it up to Apalmi, and that's another goal for Goats Esports.
Yeah, and Fudgy able to give a nice dimer to Apalmi there, right through Storm TFT. J7NG not able to get to that top side fast enough. And they're sitting on match point in a game that, kind of is a must-win for them, but Snowball going to get this Adrenaline Rush proc, and maybe he's going to try and say no to this.
That is what they would want to say if they can. Snowball, again, with the Adrenaline Rush proc, having taken one off the map. Fudgy Waffles does manage to respawn and shrink down Snowball at the same time, still relying on that stinger damage to tick away at the health bars. Blue Flu passes it down to Fudgy. Apalmi knocks it forward. Good team play there, and that's an opened up goal. Apalmi keeps the aggression going and manages to get 2 for 1. Now Fudgy clears it back over. Apalmi is here, but Storm arrives just in time off the Xeno Cloak to clear it back out. Blue Flu goes for the core flip, knocked aside by Snowball. Snowball bullying this goalie, and Storm ready for the assist, knocks it in and opens up the goal. Open goals for both sides. Palmy coming towards the bottom, though. Wants to take this one-on-one up against J7NG to pass on down. Fudgy coming in on the top side, but gets blocked away again by the Blobos, showing some of the strength that the Juno goalie brings to the table, but there's the weakness again. Apalmi going to knock it in through the bottom side, and that's going to be a victory for Goats Esports.
Yeah, Juno out a little too far, not able to get back to the other side of the net to cover that one. As it was core flipped, it's going 30 million miles per hour and went right on that bottom part of the net.
Yeah, and we saw that happen a lot up against J7NG's Juno, right? I mean, this is their signature pick, but we've covered it many times. That's kind of the weakness of it, though. If it gets into one of those little corners, she just struggles compared to a lot of other goalies to be able to get down there and snag it.
Yeah, it's really difficult, especially when, as Juno, you don't really have anything that you can kind of throw out and stop the core as it's coming, as it's coming in. You have to be very predictive with your abilities. You have to be predictive of where you're going to jump. You have to be predictive with your friend fling. Man, the alliterations that they give some of the abilities of the
I know, man.
Game.
Juliet is the worst one for sure. They're all Fs. It's tough out there.
It's a tough world we live in, and it's also a tough world for Snowball, as Snowball honestly put up a great performance, picking up 8 kills in this game and picking up, from what I remember, I believe 12 in the other. First game I've seen of them play, first 2 games I've seen of them play in the NASL, but wish we could have seen more.
Yeah, I see Twitch chat BMing the redirect volume here a little bit, and yeah, you'd like that to be a little bit higher, but it's not really Snowball's role in the composition, right? You're looking to get these KOs, you're looking to keep the pressure onto the likes of Fudgy, Apalmi, and Blue Flu, and he did that really well with 8 KOs total.
Yeah, guys, we're playing Julie against Era on Night Market with Pummelers. We are gonna hit the core maybe once like every 30 years, but you know what? If you're getting the barriers and you're getting the kills, it's okay. It's okay. But you do got to do those. Otherwise, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Definitely here. So a nice run there for the side of Goats. They are going to move themselves up into the standings a little bit. We talked about that was an important game win for them, as they definitely need to get themselves up higher in those standings. They want to get themselves into the playoff picture, and they were just outside of it with a tie for 5th place coming in. So not quite sure what the results of all the other matches have been. I mean, I do have a little sheet here that should tell me, but looks like that will successfully... it doesn't look like it's been all updated yet, but they may still... They were in 5th coming in. They want to move themselves up to compete with Otaku, Aesop, and Best Western here. And 2 of those teams we're going to watch play up against each other here in just a few moments, as Otaku Hideout and Aesop's Little Pog Champs are going to be next up on the docket.